a bit of a surprise in terms of the timing, and you had to call it at some point this year. Lizzie was mentioning there what he has to do in terms of creating this swing from the Conservatives to Labour, but the polls suggest he's very much in the lead. Where does your focus sit when you think about where he has the numbers?
Oh, I think he's going to win. I think Starmer's going to win. I think he's a very long way ahead in the polls. I think that Labour is, you know, they have a message, they have a coherence, they have a popularity in the country which is almost impossible for Sunak to overcome. And I actually think that Sunak didn't call this election for any real reason. The 2.3 number was not great. It was all right, but it was a bit less than the market was expected. I just think he's had enough, frankly. You know, he doesn't want any more embarrassments with MPs crossing the floor or doing weird things as these Tory MPs seem to be inclined to do. He just thought, well, you know, there's no upside here. So I think we're seeing the end of 14 years of Tory rule. We're about to go into a period with a Labour government. So it's an important day.
What changes public perception when it comes to the economy, though, given that inflation is actually coming down?
I think it's a very lagging indicator. I think people basically don't feel that much better off. They feel that inflation is still dragging on their incomes. But I think the overwhelming determinant of this election is not the economy, whatever Rishi thinks. The overwhelming determinant of this election is that people are tired of the Tory government. They've had 14 years of this. They've had a very, very anarchic government in power, and they just want to change. Now, this is not a vote for a Starmer government, really. I think this won't be a vote for a Starmer government. There's no great upsurge in enthusiasm for Starmer in the way that there was for Blair in 1997. It's a kick-the-bums-out election.
How similar is this Labour government to the Blair government that came in 97? Is it more comparable with the Brown government that went out in 2010? How should I think about what this Labour government is going to be?
I think you should think of the Labour government as being closer to Brown than to Blair. Blair was a real reformer. He wanted to change the state. He wanted to make it more market sensitive. And he was essentially a neoliberal. I don't think Starmer is those things. He's to the left of Blair, but a long way to the right of Corbyn. So we should see it's a sort of a return to Labour as a party of justice, a party of being in favour of the poor rather than the rich, not a sort of party that's, you know, like a Peter Mandelson party of letting everybody feel their oats. But I don't think he'll do anything really crazy.
Radical.
Radical. Yeah. He'll be a steady as it goes person.